On a quiet Sunday morning, in the heart of the Pacific, a massive battleship rested silently. No engines running, no alarm sounding, no sense of danger in the air. She was one of the most powerful warships ever built, a symbol of American naval strength. Her name was USS Arizona, and for a brief moment before history changed forever, she felt almost deserted. This is the true story of USS Arizona, not during the attack, but before it, when calm silence hid the coming disaster. December 7th, 1941 did not begin with explosions. It began with routine. Sunday schedules, relaxed watches, crew members sleeping or preparing for breakfast. The USS Arizona was moored at Battleship Row. Alongside other capital ships of the United States Pacific Fleet, she was not at sea. She was not at combat readiness. She was at peace. To an outside observer, she appeared almost empty. But this appearance was an illusion. If you want real naval history explained in deep detail, consider subscribing. These stories are real and often misunderstood. USS Arizona was commissioned in 1916, a Pennsylvania-class battleship. She was over 600 feet long, displaced more than 31,000 tons, carried massive 14-inch guns. She was built for fleet warfare for decisive naval battles. By 1941, she was already a veteran. She had served in World War I, participated in training exercises, and acted as a deterrent in the Pacific. Yet, she was no longer considered the most modern battleship. Newer ships, aircraft carriers, and submarines were reshaping naval warfare. Arizona was powerful, but aging in late 1941. Pearl Harbor was the main base of the Pacific Fleet. Ships rotated duties. Crews followed peacetime routines. Sunday mornings were calm. Many sailors were ashore on leave. Others slept in. Some prepared for inspections. The battleships were moored closely together, a sign of peace, not war. Anti-aircraft ammunition was locked away. Fuel lines were quiet. Engines were cold. This was not neglect. It was standard procedure. The phrase deserted does not mean empty. It means unprepared. At dawn, only a fraction of the crew was on deck. Officers were below. Enlisted men were waking. Some were already at breakfast. The ship was alive, but slow to an approaching enemy. She was a still target. No one expected an attack. Intelligence warnings existed, but they were vague, unclear, and underestimated. Despite the calm, tension existed beneath the surface. Negotiations with Japan were failing. Embargoes had strained relations. Some officers believed war was inevitable. Others believed Japan would strike elsewhere. The Philippines, Malaya, not Hawaii. Pearl Harbor was considered too far, too well defended. That belief shaped everything. On the night of December 6th, crew members watched movies, wrote letters, played cards. Nothing unusual was reported. No blackout, no heightened alert. USS Arizona slept. Her magazines were loaded, her fuel tanks full. She was powerful, but vulnerable. History often focuses on exploits, but understanding what came before Subscribe if you want the full picture. At dawn, the harbor was calm. Water reflected the sky. Flags hung still. Some sailors stood watch. Others moved casually across decks. Arizona was scheduled for maintenance, not battle. The ship did not steer. She did not maneuver. She waited. Battleship Row represented American confidence. Ships grouped together. Crews relaxed. Aircraft parked wing to wing. This formation was efficient, but dangerous. No one imagined torpedo bombers flying so low, or armor-piercing bombs striking so accurately. The technology existed, but belief did not. At approximately 7:55 a.m., Japanese aircraft appeared. At first, some sailors thought they were American airmen. Then they saw the waves. Then they heard gunfire. On USS Arizona, the alarm was sounded, but it was too late. The ship was transitioning from peace to war. In seconds, a penetrated the deck, struck the forward ammunition magazine. The explosion was catastrophic. The ship was torn apart. Fire erupted. Steel vaporized. More than 1,100 men were killed instantly. USS Arizona did not sink slowly. She was destroyed. The mystery is not why Arizona sank. The mystery is how such a powerful ship was caught so quickly in the hands of others. Routine and destination. Arizona did not after the attack, investigations asked hard questions. Why were ships so close together? Why was ammunition locked away? Why were aircraft destroyed? These were not failures of courage, but failures of expectation. USS Arizona paid the price. Many crew members never left their stations. Some were asleep. Some were preparing for the day. They had no chance. Their names are etched in history and in the memorial above the wreck. USS Arizona remains beneath the harbor. Fuel still leaks, known as the tears of the Arizona. She is not raised, not scrapped. She is preserved as a war grave. The secret to the deserted USS Arizona is not abandonment. It is normalcy. The most dangerous moments are when nothing seems wrong. That is when disaster strikes. USS Arizona teaches a lesson beyond war. Complacency, routine, assumption. History does not repeat loudly. It whispers first before Pearl Harbor. USS Arizona was quiet, still, and almost peaceful. She did not know. Her crew did not know. And in that silence, history changed forever. If you want real history explained beyond headlines, subscribe, because understanding what happened before explains everything that followed.